What's up, everyone? This week on Just Jason Keto, we're going to unbox and review this Dash My Mug ice cream maker. So stick around and we'll be right back right after this. Okay, so yeah, this week we're going to take a look at this ice cream maker. Now, I don't know how long this has been available from Dash. If you know me, I've always been a fan of their mini waffle makers. I use them almost every week in a recipe video. But this is a sort of single serving ice cream maker. It has a mug with a mixer that mixes the ice cream right in the mug. So why don't we get at opening this up? Again, I haven't never even seen the unit, haven't opened up yet, so we'll open it together. So we've got our sort of QR code here that you can scan to get more information. The typical Dash sort of information pouch here that's going to have some documentation about how to use your ice cream maker. Every Dash appliance comes with something like this. Typical sort of stuff, safeguards, parts, features before using, and then this will actually have some recipes in it as well. Most Dash units have recipes. No cook vanilla ice cream. I think they said there's going to even be some keto-based recipes in here somewhere. So Dash is pretty good at having information for sort of any diet and lifestyle. So that's that part. And then we've got the first part here. Looks like the mixer itself. So it's just a little unit with a power cord. We'll unwrap this cord just to see how long it is, because sometimes that's important information. So I would say that's probably about a 3-foot cord. Your 2-prong normal 110 outlet cord. I am in Canada, so that's why we have that. So, and then it's got a sort of power button on top. And then we've got a plastic cover that goes over the mug, and then the looks like the mixer just snaps into it like that. So that's pretty handy. Now I think the idea with these, this is the mug that you mix the ice cream in here. So it did, can't remember what it said, how much it would hold here. I know it said it on the box somewhere, but it will hold a decent amount of mix. And like I say, we'll have to find that at some point, but what we'll do is at the when we actually get into the use of this, I'll let you know what I find out about that. It's I don't know if you can hear it, but it's got a liquid in it that freezes. So basically the idea is you put the mug in the freezer, it says for 24 to 48 hours to allow it to freeze. And then you can mix your ice cream right in the mug by itself. So this just snaps on here, kind of thing. We'll do that properly when we use it, but that just goes on there. And then the last part is down in the bottom here, and that's your mixing blade. So it's just a plastic mixing blade that'll snap in place on here, just like that. So pretty simple. Like I say, this is one of those little appliances that, I don't know, it's what they call sort of a unitasker. So it only does one thing. Obviously you can make different kinds of ice cream, and what we're gonna make in this is some keto chow ice cream, which is pretty easy to make. So that's why we're gonna use that for the first time. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll put this in the freezer, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this review once it's ready to use. And then I'll let you know if this is worth the purchase. It was about $35 Canadian I just bought it at Walmart. Now you can buy a kit that has 2 of these mugs, which might be better to have a second mug so that you can always have one in the freezer if you're using it. That's one drawback I see to this, is that, you know, we're not always thinking about our ice cream 24 hours in advance kind of thing. So, or unless you just leave this in the freezer all the time. So that's about it for this first part. I'll come back with you tomorrow when this is ready to go, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so we are back with our frozen Dash ice cream maker mug. It's been in the freezer for just under 24 hours. Now they do say that you want to freeze this for 24 to 48 hours before you make the ice cream. So hopefully it works well, but I can't see that 1 hour is going to make that much of a difference. So I'll look through the book to see how you're supposed to run the unit. So we'll go through that, and there's some interesting recipes in there. So as always, Dash does a good job of giving you some ideas. What we're going to be making today is some ice cream using this Keto Chow butterscotch flavor. So I mixed up a serving of this with water and heavy whipping cream. So I've got that in this container here, makes it easier to pour. So basically this will take half pint or 240 milliliters of liquid when you're pouring your mix in. What they do say to do in the instructions is to basically attach the blender, the mixer, to the cup first, and you'll see there's a spot where you can pour in your liquids, and you can add your any addings to it if you want to add like chocolate chips or sprinkles or whatever you're gonna add to your ice cream kind of thing. So what we'll do, they do say that it takes about 20 minutes to finish blending the ice cream, and you want to start the mixer. So I don't know if you can hear it, not too loud. So we've got that started. So they say to get it running first and then add your mix in afterwards. Now they do recommend chilling your mix before you add it. And I've had this in the fridge most of the day in a blender bottle. So it's nice and chilled already. So again, that's 240 milliliters. So we got most of that in there. So we're gonna give that the 20 minutes that they recommend, and we'll come back and see how it did. Okay, so our ice cream has been mixing for 20 minutes here. As you can see, looks like it's coming together pretty good. We're just going to do the 20 minutes they suggest tonight. It may need some tweaking depending on the recipe that you're using. This is actually the first time I'm making Keto Chow ice cream, so I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I'm just going off what I've seen on the internet. So basically what they suggest is to turn off the mixing motor, and what you want to do is actually take the motor part off, they say, which doesn't seem to want to come off. Okay, so like that, I guess it just pulls off. You don't have to twist it, it just comes right off. So what the idea here is that you're going to take the motor off first, and then you're going to take the lid off, which is a turn lock basically, and that allows you to pull the paddle out without making too much of a mess. And I can already tell that this is probably could go for a little bit longer, and it does have some fairly icy parts at the bottom kind of thing. So again, I'm not sure if it's just the recipe. Like I say, I did freeze the mug for almost 24 hours like they suggest. So as you can see, it's a fairly crystallized, soft ice cream. Now again, I'm sure it tastes fine. It just doesn't look specifically like ice cream. So I guess first impression, chances are it's not turning out as it should, more based on what I did and not what the machine will do. But that's going to require some more testing to find out for sure. I guess the real question, you know, there's the manual again. Is this unit that all it does is make ice cream for one serving worth the $35 Canadian that it costs? Probably not. But I guess, like, if you're living by yourself and you just want to have ice cream every once in a while, and you've got the extra room for this to be sitting around in your cupboards and that, then, you know, I guess it would be worth having around. Again, you can buy this as a 2-mug kit, so it comes with 1 mixer and 2 mugs, so that you could always have one in the freezer kind of thing. I think that one on the Dash website was $45, and that's probably in US dollars. So again, I think that would be more, would be handier to have that second mug for sure. But I guess while we have this out here, let's actually try this, see if it actually tastes good. Yep, it's butterscotch keto chow, which always tastes good. Again, it's very crystallized, not super creamy, and maybe it would work better if it was blended longer, or maybe I just didn't have enough fat in this mix. I mixed up a full pouch of keto chow with 2 cups of water and half a cup of heavy whipping cream. So that could be the problem as well. It may need more fat in the mix to have it come together and be creamier. So again, I'm not knocking Dash in the machine itself. Again, chances are the issue is with what I did. But, you know, it did continue to mix, and you could actually hear it working harder as it started getting thicker. So, like, I don't have any issues with the way the machine works so far. So yeah, that's the unboxing and review of the Dash My Mug ice cream maker. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. You know, if you have one, let me know how you like it. Is this something that you would ever buy? Do you think it's worth the price? Yeah, and let me know. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on it. So that's it for this week's video. We go live every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for a weekly chit chat kind of thing. And we release a new video once a week. Usually it's recipes, sometimes it's product reviews like this. So until next time, keep on thriving, my friends.